Today we are extensively testing the new and improved Epoch. It is a tricky support weapon to get used to and use properly, but it's a lot more forgiving than it was before. The Epoch is a cross between the railgun and the purifier, working both as an anti-tank weapon and a weapon capable of cleaning up chaff. As I mentioned, it can be difficult to use as it borrows the charging mechanic from the railgun. So if you're used to holding shots like with the purifier, you'll need to break that habit before you pick up the Epoch. Just like the railgun and the purifier, the charging mechanic increases damage the longer you hold it. The Epoch has two damage stages. The first stage has heavy armor pen and charges rather quickly, while the second stage deals around double the damage, has a much larger explosive effect, and has anti-tank armor pen, but takes longer to charge. The first stage is great for killing enemies like Devastators and Bile Spewers, while the second stage is what you'll be using for the bigger enemies and the small crowds of chaff. Now let's break down how to actually fire the Epoch without blowing yourself up. The first thing you'll want to do is break the habit of holding your shots like you do with the purifier. If you're used to using the railgun, this shouldn't be a problem, but for all of us purifier users out there, be careful not to hold the shot for too long. Thankfully, the Epoch has a few danger indicators to let you know when it's time to fire. The first is the most obvious. The Epoch has a charge meter on it that is visible while in first person, and letting the charge meter fill up completely is a reliable way to know when to fire. Stage 1 starts on the third bar of the meter, right here where it changes to a solid yellow. You'll also hear an audible clicking sound when stage 1 is armed, and you'll see the energy from the muzzle disappear. Stage 2 starts right around here where it turns reddish orange. At that point you'll see another muzzle flash, the last two bars will light up instantly, and the weapon's rods will insert into the launcher. You'll also hear a very audible beeping sound letting you know it's ready to fire. Once you reach stage 2, holding it longer won't increase the damage any further. So as soon as it reaches stage 2 and you start hearing and seeing these indicators, you should absolutely fire it, and I recommend lining up your shot during the charge up process. Just like the purifier, if you charge up a shot, it must be discharged, and swapping weapons or climbing up terrain or getting knocked down will trigger the Epoch to fire. So make sure you're not aiming at an ally when you do this. The Epoch also has a segmented reload, so you can pop out the old mag, dive to interrupt the animation, and run from whatever's chasing you, and then resume reloading to get the new mag in. The Warp Pack is really good at this, and it's my recommended backpack when you're running the Epoch, which will give you some extra mobility. As for the projectile, it explodes on impact or in the air after its fuse time runs out. The fuse time is 0.6 seconds after leaving the barrel, giving it a maximum range of around 140 meters, depending on how much the projectile has to arc during its flight. It's important to note that both stage 1 and 2 share the same maximum range, fuse time, and projectile velocity. The only difference between the two is their damage, armor penetration level, and their explosion radius. After the update, the Epoch now has enough demolition force to blow up fabricators and bug holes when it's on stage 2, and it can also destroy objectives like the illegal broadcast. Stage 1 still doesn't have enough juice to blow any of those up, but it does do a bit more damage after the update. For me, the range of 140 meters is a limiting factor in the usefulness of the weapon. If an objective like a Spore Spewer or Shrieker's Nest is off in the distance, and I have an expendable anti-tank, you better believe that I'm taking long-range cross-map shots at it, and you really just can't do that with the Epoch. When it comes to killing power, this weapon isn't a slouch by any means. A single overcharged shot can kill hulks, bunker and cannon turrets, automaton tanks, and even impalers by targeting their weak spots. If you accidentally miss their weak spot, most of these targets will die to a second follow-up shot. Big targets like Bile Titans, Chargers, and Dragon Roaches require 2 headshots to take down, and unless you have flame-resistant armor, the Dragon Roaches are just a pain in the ass to try and kill with the Epoch. As for War Striders, they're pretty much a guaranteed 2-shot kill, whether you're aiming for the crotch, one of the leg joints, or if you're aiming for the torso. I know they've added weak points to the eyes and vents, and I'm pretty sure this is a skill issue on my end. I haven't actually been able to get that one-tap kill with the Epoch, so definitely let me know down in the comments if y'all are able to or not. I see that they data mined the weak spot on the wiki already, and the health pools do suggest that it should be possible to get that one-tap, but I haven't been able to actually pull it off yet. As for stage 1 shots, you can reliably kill Bile Spewers, but Devastators can tank a second shot if you aren't aiming for their head. Charging up a stage 2 shot lets you kill small groups of enemies, but it feels like a waste of ammo because the damage radius is quite small. Speaking of ammo, the weapon comes with 3 shots per mag and 4 spare reloads by default. If you wear armor with the Siege Ready passive, that ups your spare mags to 5, and with this ship module upgrade, you'll get all 5 of those restocked with a single resupply box. After the update, I would say that the Epoch is absolutely incredible against the bots. I took the Epoch on a level 10 mission and had no problem cutting through heavies, bunkers, and swarms of smaller bots. I would say it's not as good against the bugs and squids since they have more melee units that are going to try and close in on you, and this weapon is basically a guaranteed one-shot if you fire it too close. And just like the Purifier, it's a lot safer to fire at enemies that are at a distance. As for the anti-tank part of the weapon, while the Epoch is fantastic against the bots, particularly the Hulks, I think for the bugs, I still prefer the recoilless or the expendable launchers for taking out most heavies, since it's usually a one-tap. Thanks for watching, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this.